as Premier Boxing Champions presents the Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Bomb Squad Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Mayweather Promotions, as sponsored by Tecate, the official beer of boxing. Twin Peaks Restaurant, BC, the president, Mauricio Sulaiman, judges at ringside, Eric Cheek, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld. All right, fans, here we go with a bout you've all been waiting for. 12 rounds of boxing in a rematch for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first the challenger, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with gray trim, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Camagüey, Cuba. He weighed in at a ready 236.5 pounds. His record stands at 31 wins, 1 loss, with 26 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, looking to avenge his only loss and to become the first ever heavyweight world champion from Cuba. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hard-hitting and fearsome heavyweight world contender, introducing Luis King Kong Ortiz. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, the longest reigning heavyweight world champion in boxing today, wearing gold trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He weighed in 219.5 pounds with a sensational record of 41 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. He has 40 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the U.S. Olympic bronze medalist and the acclaimed knockout artist, tonight making the 10th defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated, reigning and defending WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, introducing the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Uylder. And now here's our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep this fight clean at all times, play them up here. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you, touch them up.
20 months on after their fight of the year in the beautiful Barclays Center in Brooklyn, Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz clash again. So another potential dust-up in the desert. Both predict a thriller. Both say it will end by knockout. Styles made for a fire fest in New York. Now Nevada plays host to the first of 2 compelling heavyweight rematches in a fortnight. Ruiz Joshua 2 in Saudi. But first, Wilder and Ortiz lock horns again. 10 rounds of drama in New York. What happens here, Matt?
That's the million-dollar question, Adam. Ortiz, I think, will be cagey, he'll be wary early on. He knows he said this is going to be knockout, whatever which way it happens, but I think he's still going to be careful. He can't just walk in on Wilder. He's going to be careful of that right hand. You know, southpaws are open to the straight right hand down the middle, and Wilder carries absolute dynamite in that right hand.
That's what he did to dispatch Dominic Brazil a few months ago on the East Coast. It went viral, that knockout, so quickly. Brutal power. Brazil blown away. Wilder with 20 first-round knockout victories. Ortiz has 8. This is not time to turn away.
No, you can see Ortiz trying to keep his right foot outside the left foot of Deontay Wilder. He's trying to edge out of the way of the right hand. And when he does come back to the left, he takes that step back first to make sure he's out of distance. Very crafty, clever southpaw Ortiz, very good with distance. See him giving the little feints there to Uайлдер.
It was a brilliant amateur once upon a time, but that was a long time ago. He's had his ups and downs as a professional. Good left hand from Ortiz.
That's good from Ortiz, just got nice and close with his feet, just positioning Uайлдер, manoeuvring him onto the ropes then. Quick little step there, double step, closing the distance with his feet and loop that left hook round the side, and that caught Ortiz bang on the chin. Good shot from Ortiz.
Sharp shooter, Ortiz tries a left to the body as well. He knows he can hurt Uайлдер. That 7th round was a real storm for the champion, but he got through it and he had that minute rest in the corner.
Yeah, Uайлdер trying to give a few feints as well. He knows that Ortiz is trying to set a trap for him, so he's trying to give the feints to Ortiz. He wants Ortiz to lead first. Both men, neither wants to lead off here in fear of being countered by the other, and they know that both guys carry the power to hurt the other. So, you know, very much a game of chess going on here at the minute. Neither guy wanted to make a mistake, trying to be first. They're trying to feint the other guy into making a mistake that they can then make the pay for. Ortiz looking for the 1-2 down the middle.
Another left hand from that southpaw stance from Luis Ortiz. And tentative from Uайлдер, who knows the big carrot of the huge rematch with Tyson Fury looms. Can't look too far ahead. He's got a dangerous man in front of him in Ortiz. Power in there that they've got to be so very careful. The WBC heavyweight title on the line, the gold and white. If you need the identification of Deontay Wilder, stands 6'7" with that huge reach, 83 inches, 40 knockouts in his 41 wins. Luis Ortiz, 6 years older and aiming to try and pick up from that 7th round in New York and forget what happened afterwards, because he said it was stamina that was the issue. That won't be a problem this time around with a longer camp.
Yeah, he went for the finish that night, didn't get it, and gassed out really. Uайлдер came back, recovered, and got the finish in the 10th round. But that was a good opening round from Ortiz. Both guys very cagey, neither one wanting to make a mistake. Both men carry a lot of power. Yes, Uайлdер, we know, has that scary concussive one-punch power, but Ortiz does carry enough power to hurt Uайлdер, so Uайлder's got to be careful too.
Utilises the right for the first time, didn't throw it with full force. Deontay Wilder gets back behind the jab. He can be awkward at times, Uайлдер. Not textbook, but he is physically so very strong, and it is utterly natural power.
Yeah, this is good work from Ortiz. He's using good, clever little feints there, just edging closer with his feet. He's really good at distance, Ortiz.
Well, he's the better boxer, isn't he? And that's proven in the amateur game.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's you know, way more experienced. 500 fights, as he said. You know, master at distance, little half steps, and he's working the body good too. Nice straight lefts to the body, jab into the body. See him giving the feints there, trying to get a reaction from Uайлдер, trying to see what way he's going to react.
Shouting instructions to him from the red corner. Ortiz's team again tries the left to the body.
Yeah, just coming in nicely behind that double jab. Nice and patient Ortiz, again, giving the feints there. Again, we talk about high-level stuff, high-level games of chess. Neither guy can afford to make a mistake here. Again, nice left hand there from Ortiz.
Head and body from Ortiz. It's a good start here from the Cuban, the challenger, the heavy underdog. He's not phased one little bit, Ortiz. He wasn't in Brooklyn. Can he complete a job he almost got done then? And what an upset it will be.
Really good fundamentals from Ortiz, you know, technically very good, very well balanced, really good footwork, never overreaches as well, always gets his feet into distance before he punches.
Javier Jimenez and Larry Wade, the conditioner. Good start for Luis Ortiz, first couple.
Yeah, really good start. You know, really good at distance, controlling the distance. And he closes it quickly there, just shovels his feet in quickly and you know, keeps his balance, doesn't overreach with his shots, make sure he gets his feet into distance before he starts punching.
Deontay Wilder and his team were saying that he was pretty ill going into the first fight. He had a big cold problem on the week and he wasn't totally right. This time, absolutely 100%. But he walks into a left hand again from Ортис, who's having success with that honey punch from the southpaw style. The backhand. Wilder's had a lot of southpaw sparring, but Ортис is intelligent. He's got good ring IQ.
That's it, Adam. You just took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say it's the boxing IQ of Ортис and his technical ability and his fundamentals, his technique, his footwork, his balance. They're the things that are giving Wilder problems. Wilder hasn't found his range here. He can't quite work out whether Ортис is. Should he punch? Should he not punch? He doesn't want to overcommit and get countered. And you know, he's not letting his hands go because he's worried that if he does, he's going to get countered because he's not comfortable in there right now. Ортis, the guy who was settled here.
Got left to the body as well, and Wilder just beats his own body to try and get himself going here because Ортис looks comfortable at the moment. Very early days, nothing really of any great quality landing, certainly from Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder just hasn't thrown enough. He's almost not frozen, but he's just not letting his hands go. He needs to throw that right hand a bit more, and you've got to pop that jab out a bit. Even if he just throws the right hand, don't try and hit a home run with it. Don't go for knockout, but just throw it straight, throw it quick.
Another left from Ортис, and again Wilder circumspect, much more so than we felt he would be. Many people thought he would really try and make a dramatic early statement here and take the fight right away from Ортис. That hasn't happened yet.
No, Ортis is the one who's settled, and he's growing in confidence here, growing in belief.
Just talking to him in there as well, Ортis.
Oh, there's that right hand. That's better for Wilder. He's got to do that more. He's got to let that right hand go straight down the middle against the southpaw.
Yep, for the first time, it partially lands. Wilder, as the action just heats up a tad. It's been a quiet first few rounds, but the left hand of Ортис has been the most memorable part of the first 9 minutes. Sure, going in, thought it would be an easy night against Andy Ruiz maybe, then came a cropper, and now he's got to try and exact revenge. Wilder got the job done first time around 20 months ago, but Ортis, well, many thought he missed the chance that night. Has he got the ability to sustain this and take Wilder to a really uncomfortable place? He hasn't settled Deontay tonight.
No, he looks hesitant in there, and Ортis certainly has the boxing IQ, the ring intelligence, the technical ability, that's for sure. Very clever fighter, really good at distance, and he settled really well. Ортis, again, giving the feints there. I'll give him the first 3 rounds. Again, looking to jab that body. Again, getting a bit closer with the feet.
Again, swings with the left hand. Wilder shakes his head, and again, there's a smile from Wilder. Is he just waiting for one big jackhammer right hand to spring? And we know he can do that.
Yeah, that's all he needs is one punch. But, you know, I'm really impressed with the way Ортis is being the ring general in there. He's manoeuvring Wilder where he wants him.
Beautiful work with the left hand from Ортис, and Wilder's frustrated. And Ортis is now beginning to grow in confidence and taking 1 or 2 risks in there as well. What a start for the Cuban based in Miami, the aging Ортis. 3 or 4 years ago, you thought he was going nowhere, but he could, Matt, become a heavyweight champion tonight.
Yeah, well, we talk about boxing IQ, and, you know, probably outside of Tyson Fury, Ортis has got the highest boxing IQ in the heavyweight division. You know, he's a fundamentally, technically very, very well-schooled fighter, very well-balanced. Yeah, he's on the old side at 40, but, you know, he's a very, very clever fighter. And, you know, ring generalship, He's dictating the terms in there. He's manoeuvring Deontay Wilder where he wants him.
The American crowd trying to rally behind the bronze bomber from Alabama. Just can't get his range right, his timing, Wilder. And this is the cuteness of Ortiz.
You know,
he's savvy, isn't he?
Very clever, and very good with distance and controlling that distance. All he needs to do is take that little half a step, and he takes the distance away from Wilder.
And he caught the right hand as well, cleverly on the left glove, Ortiz, and then went back into the fire. He's happy to take chances here. He believes he's in control, and we do too. Is really gaining momentum here and boxing really effectively in the first third of this left tunnel challenge. It's this left hand that Wilder can't deal with at the moment.
Yeah, and it's the footwork out of him, the way he's able to close that distance very quickly when he takes that he's like a quick two-step with the feet behind the double jab and then loops that left hand. And, you know, Wilder is pulling back in a straight line. He's getting caught with that left hand.
What will he be saying to him in the Wilder corner? Because he's going to have to take one or two chances soon. Ortiz growing again in stature in there. Look at the body language between the pair.
Yeah, he looks confident now. He's settled. He's at ease. He's let both hands go. His jab's good. His straight left to the body is good. His straight left down the middle is good. That looping left hook he's thrown, he's landed several times. You know, he's been taking the distance away from Wilder, he's making him miss. Luis Ortiz is comfortable in there. Deontay Wilder is not.
Wilder unbeaten, remember, but the draw against Tyson Fury, most believe he lost that. Fury was so classy for so much of it, and then got up at the end when it was the impossible recovery, wasn't it, in the 12th round? And that just goes to show that Deontay Wilder's power remains through the course of this, so he has to be wary of that, Ortiz. But at the moment, he's enjoying himself in there.
Yeah, he's settled, he's comfortable, he's in a nice rhythm now, he's really in his groove. He's, again, Wilder, you know, just missing there, Ortiz, a little smile from him, but yeah, he's comfortable now, Ortiz. He's in a nice rhythm, lands a good jab there. Nice left hand to the body. He's boxing well here, Ortiz.
Wilder tries to get the jab going. He can give away rounds at times. He was poor against Ортис, Deontay Wilder, but he then caught up with him, and what a knockout that was in Brooklyn. So that's the mystique with Wilder. You never know at any stage.
I mean, just waiting a bit too long here, Wilder. You know, he's allowing Ortiz to back him up into corners. He's got to start letting his hands go a bit more, Wilder. He needs to throw that straight right hand down the middle.
And there's the right hand from Wilder. Ortiz just trying to regain his balance. Starting to plant his feet here, Wilder. Needs to.
With a good round from Ortiz, boxed well here. Nice counter.
Good combination by now. We're into the 6th. Have you given Deontay anything?
No, I've given Ortiz every single round. I'd be surprised if anyone could see it any other way.
3 judges at ringside. Eric Cheek, Dave Moretti, Steve Weisfeld, very experienced. And the majority felt it wasn't going anywhere near the scorecards. Both of these guys said it will be over within the distance.
But again, it's all Ortiz. Adam is controlling everything. He's dictating. He's initiating the attacks. And you know, Wilder too hesitant, not letting his hands go, and just not doing enough. And he's losing these rounds, and he's way behind on the cards now. And I'd be shocked if anyone could see it any other way.
Yep, totally agree. Luis Ortiz has set the pace. He's set a rhythm. He's been classy. And all that southpaw sparring that Wilder was meant to have, he just isn't letting his hands go. He's waiting and waiting for that moment he can squeeze one through the gap.
You know, there's those nice little feints again from Ortiz and those little half steps, just making Wilder miss, not allowing him to read him or get distance on him, and just keeping him thinking, keeping him guessing. You know, another thing, Adam, and I don't know if this is superstition, but Wilder's brother got knocked out earlier on the card, and you know, I wondered if psychologically has that played any role in his mind and his warm-up. And
that's a very good point. Marcellus's brother was knocked out badly on the card. He was okay afterwards, but psychologically, he's a deep man, Deontay Wilder. He's a family man, as is Luis Ortiz. And would that have affected him? But the effective style of Luis Ortiz, that shuffle forward there, the clever southpaw boxing. No drama, no wild firefight yet, but it is absolutely absorbing to watch. And Wilder, just narrowly missed there, and there's oohs and ahs from the crowd. They just want to see what happens when he does land one big shot.
Yeah, massive anticipation here. You can feel the anticipation in the whole arena every time Wilder throws a shot, but you know, he isn't throwing enough. And you know, Ortiz, nice and busy and good movement as well, plenty of feints, looking for the left hook there, and then lands a nice straight left down the middle. And Wilder blocked a few of those, but a couple of them got through too. And again, Wilder's the busier of the two. He's the guy that's winning the round here.
So much talk of rematches, whether they go the same way, different occasions, immediate ones, not immediate ones, all the talk of what might happen in Saudi in a couple of weeks. But first of all, what about this? Halfway through, and Deontay Wilder's in trouble here, Matt.
Yeah, well,
I remember the 10th defense for Deontay Wilder, who's surely a long way behind. It's been a real good start from Luis Ortiz. And remember, this is the 7th round. This is when Wilder almost so close to being stopped, maybe a punch or two away, and the bell saved him. Will there be a bit of history repeating itself here, or will Wilder finally get going?
Well, he needs to get going. Oh, good left hand from Ortiz.
Big left hand from Ortiz. How will Wilder respond? And another one, partially blocked. Wilder swinging here, heads bumping together. And Ortiz is prepared to sit in the pocket.
Well, he looks comfortable now. He's boxing really well. He's totally in the driver's seat. He's in a rhythm. He's looked comfortable. He's confident. You know, Deontay Wilder, he's the guy that needs to turn things around here, and he's got to start letting his hands go more. He's waiting too long. You know, and that's credit to Ortiz too, because he's constantly taking the distance away from Wilder. He's not letting him read that distance with him.
There's the jab from Wilder. He's trying to get a spring in the step.
But Wilder's just not throwing enough punches. He's not going to win a round throwing 6-8 punches around. He's got to be more busy. He's got to let those hands go more. That's a better right hand from him.
I honestly think, Matt, he's looking for that big one, right cross, hook, something, because of that natural power that he must just rely on, you know, lacking some of the boxing technique, thinking it's going to land at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he only needs one shot. That's the thing with Deontay Wilder. He only needs one clean shot, and it's over. The fight's over. But you know, he has to throw more. He has to disguise it and dress it up and be a bit more sneakier with it. Because again, when you find someone like Luis Ortiz, who's so clever and so good at judging the distance, you're not going to just. It's very unlikely you're going to hit him with just loading up and looking for the one shot. If you're just telegraphing it, looking for one punch, he's going to see it coming, he's going to read it, he's going to feint you, he's going to take a half step back, and you're going to find it difficult to catch him with that. You've got to be busier with both hands. You've got to dress it up. Good left hand from Ortiz.
It was after a good body shot from Wilder and a jab, and Ortiz comes back, punishing the body, and Wilder's on the retreat here.
Yeah, great work from Ortiz there, double jab, and then shoots that straight left to the body. Brilliant work from Ortiz again.
What a 2019 we're having in heavyweight boxing.